What'd you say? I'm using some of my lotion here. Beauty Counter. Love this stuff. It's the Counter Time stuff. And then the eye cream. My hair is looking crazy. Benjamin, I just put up a vlog where you're the star.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, alright. Finally, the talent's being recognized.
What talent?
That was a big
pretty sure
big
you...
pause there.
I know. I was trying to think of something meaner to say, but honestly, didn't come as quickly as I wanted.
Dude, how was it editing the 15 clips that I gave you?
Awful. Yeah, Benjamin films in a very different way than me. Well, I will say it's harder on your phone. Like if we had a camera.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because it's like really, and because I didn't, like I was just telling you, I didn't have the little stand thing. So I was like, yeah, I was just like carrying my phone and it was awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it's like, I don't know, 12:30.
I'm share that on my Instagram.
There you go. It's like 12:30 on Saturday. The only reason I'm doing my hair, honestly, is because if I don't, it will be like a rat's nest in a few days. So I'd rather just spend the time straightening it and then I don't have to worry about it. Because I don't like my hair natural most days. Because it's like kind of like a poofiness going on. And so I'll just put it up like in a bun and then all my hair falls out because I'm putting my hair in a bun all the time. But I think we are going to go for a W today. I have just spent my morning trying to wake up. We slept in like way later than we normally do. And then we are, what are we doing today? Oh, Ben has like a couple calls with friends. And I have like a huge project I have to work on. I have a little bit of client work to do this weekend actually. So I'm trying to like get ahead because I'm not going to be working the last week and a half of the month. So yeah, but that's the plan. Yeah. So this straightening my hair, like I have had this straightener for like almost 10 years. It's pretty, actually, maybe it has been 10 years. This week was like overwhelming in both good ways and bad ways. There's just been a lot going on, a lot expected of me, a lot of expectations I've put on myself, and I'm like learning how to combat that. I also found out that a friend of mine from high school, which honestly I haven't spoken to her since high school, but I went to a very, very, very small school, so like you grew up with these people, and anyway, she like very tragically and unexpectedly passed away yesterday. So I spent most of my evening just connecting with friends from high school and finding out what happened and just like checking in on other friends to make sure they're okay. So a little bit of a somber end to my Friday night, and then I really couldn't sleep, so I kind of stayed up and watched a little bit of TV and then went to bed late, which is why I got up late today. But it's supposed to be like in the mid to high 60s all weekend, so it was like that yesterday, and I didn't go outside, I don't think, even for a second, besides, because I don't even go outside when I go in my car. When we went to Walgreens, I didn't leave my car. So anyway, that's what's happening today. What are you doing? Her ears are like flapping. Oh, you got it. Nope. It was already like ripped. We're back at our favorite little creek. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi friends, sorry if you can hear Ben in the background. I say this all the time. He's right in that wall. He's being really loud. Anyway, I am Hero. Well, I can't really show you because it's client confidential information, but I am creating this social media audit piece. Let's see if I can actually show you just my template. One sec. Okay, so this is like a template that I use. I got it from Hootsuite forever ago, but it's basically like a summary and how to do an audit, and then you can pick whichever social media you want to focus on. And then this is like a little summary page, but so like for Instagram, it just tells you like what all to include, and then I change this based on my client. So for example, the current client I'm working with barely has any followers. So like some of this stuff like demographics doesn't even show up, like that kind of stuff. And then you can like really go into stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to with my current client because they're just very, very small, but it kind of gives me a place of like where to start from. And then I'm just going to look at all of this, look at some competitors, and then decide what I think they should change, what I think they should do in order to grow. I also use something called socialblade.com to look into stuff. And then I found this really cool template in, what's it called? Canva. So I will say my client is male, so he might think I'm like insane, but I like this template, so I'm gonna use it. But I'm obviously not gonna use all this stuff, but these are just templated slides that I can give my recommendation on like tools and you know, different things that I think what are some of the things I'm gonna use. Analysis of Instagram and Facebook, metrics, social media overview. I actually might move this down because they don't really have any metrics. Platform recommendations, posting recommendations, tool recommendations, general content calendar, and then hashtag options. So I might add some stuff to it, but that's kind of what I'm going to do. Again, ignore all this. I'm going to change a lot of this stuff, and I'm probably not going to use many of these like pretty pages. I'm probably going to use more of these white ones just because it gets to the point a little bit. So anyway, finishing this, well, I have a lot to do. I don't know that I'll finish it today, but I'm doing this. I'm waiting for another client to get back to me because I wanted a post to go up today on the weekend, which is not normal. And then I don't know. It depends on how much energy I have, if I'm going to continue doing stuff or what. So anyway, back to work. Just wanted to show you what I was doing.
You ever see yourself on camera and you're just like, oh God, that's what I look like today?
Every day. Bad body image for the win. We're both eating. I'm eating Indian food.
I had more than this, but I ate half of it before we jumped on here.
It's Indian-esque food.
It's funny because yours is just Eastern Asian, because yours is
like
Indian and mine is like Thai.
Every time we make Indian food, we can never get like the spice right.
Here.
It's good.
I'll get you a little pie in.
But there's like a spice that like only Indian food has. Don't like oversaturate it. Okay.
But yeah.
It's more of even like a taste of spice. I don't know that it's
Yeah, it's just all the authentic stuff, like the actual literal spices that they use that us Americans have powder, and we just try to like replicate the taste, and you literally can't. Like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, now it's just spicy. Jesus. Anyway, we haven't been on here much today because it's been a busy day.
I feel like it's the busiest Saturday we've had in like, I don't know, for like most of quarantine probably.
Yeah. Which is not exactly like my favorite thing. I really like, I'm still in like that zone where like weekends are supposed to be my time. I don't hate the work that I'm doing. I just hate that I have to do it on a weekend.
Part of this, like we were talking about, is like just the transition into being self-employed too. Of it is hard when you like the work that you're doing and you do have this freedom, but with that comes weeks like this week for you, where it's like onboarding people, doing new things, trying to get multiple clients up and running, and it's your first time around with a lot of this stuff. Not at what you do, like you've been doing what you do for a decade now, but it's like when you have to create all these processes and stuff for yourself,
like my own bandwidth.
Right. It's like but you're creating the systems and everything from nothing, from scratch, and so it's just like it just takes a lot of time and effort and energy, like you're spent right now.
So anyway, we decided to do this like makeshift mukbang. I don't know.
It's mukbang, isn't it?
Mukbang. Usually people do these with like food that they purchase, but then made food. So.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
That's like the.
I don't know if there's a rule, but we're thinking of doing one of these on Christmas Eve, so it'll be the last mukbang, right? It's Christmas Eve when we're gonna get stuff. Either Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We're trying to make up new traditions since my family isn't coming to visit us and we can't go home. So it's just Benjamin, Cora, and I. So we're thinking of getting Indian food, real Indian food. There's an Indian place that we wanted to try that's like on the other side of Raleigh in Chapel Hill, if you're familiar, and it's like supposed to be really good. We also had Indian food on the west side, like near Cary, that I really liked, which we could get that too. But we love the place. We like the place over here, but it's not like mind-blowing. It's just very easy to get, and it's good, and it's consistent.
Yeah.
But we had this place in Wheaton that was like literally my favorite Indian food I've ever had in my life. So we're trying to find a new place. Anyway, so we were thinking of doing as a tradition, getting like some food to go for Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve, depending on like when businesses are open. So we might go to the one in Chapel Hill just because like we have no other reason to drive 50 minutes one way to get Indian food, especially now because pretty much we are at least pretty much taking everything to go. So anyway, that was a very long way of saying we're thinking of doing an actual mukbang with like Indian food.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any like questions for us, like about our relationship, about moving to Raleigh, about working for ourselves, about our favorite color, let us know, and we should put up like a little question thing on Instagram too.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But anyway, so this is a practice round. Is this garlic? No, that's potato.
Or a cauliflower.
I don't even taste the cauliflower in here, honestly. I think it's
clearish, whitish chunks of stuff in there.
Legit, I think it disintegrated. I don't see it anywhere in there.
What?
The cauliflower. You see that?
That was weird.
Yeah.
Maybe I just didn't like scoop any out or something. It's kind of strange.
But yeah.
I want more food.
Do you want some of this? You gave me a lot.
Yeah, I did. Kind of breaking my own potato and tomato rule if I do that.
You don't have to. I'll eat it.
I'll take a little spoonful.
But anyway, this week and weekend has been very busy for both of us. Particularly me, but both.
Yeah, no, it's flown by for sure.
Yeah, in good and bad ways.
Yeah, I had. Let's see. Oh, we got up late this morning, and so I don't know if Jessie talks about it, but late for me is like after 8, and I woke up. I got out of bed at 9 this morning. You were like what, 9:10 or 9:15?
Not even, I think. I never went back to sleep when you got
Yeah.
up.
So 9-ish for us is like late. So that was like kind of weird to get the day started, and especially on Saturday, just like super nice to. It's like people like to sleep in on Saturday, but for us, we both kind of like a little bit sure, but we both like having time and just being able to like chill on Saturday mornings. So then I had a call with a friend who I'm working on a workshop collaboration with. So that's super fun and exciting because we're moving along with that and going to be getting that out in the next month or two. But that was a chunk of time. I had to like respond to some clients and do some emails after that. So I was like trying to eat while doing that. Meanwhile, Jessie was finishing some stuff up. Oh, that's where you were like doing your hair and talking to them. And then Jessie was like, what the hell? Aren't we going for a walk? What's happening? And I was like, yeah, we're going for a walk. So we got out of here, did that, came back. I jumped on a call with 2 of my buddies who I do like a monthly, just kind of like buddy/mastermind thing with. And we went for a good chunk of time, and then I essentially came down here. I like did a couple little things on my computer, came down here, started making dinner, and that took me a little longer than expected. Jessie was finishing a bunch of stuff up, and so here we are, and it's like 6:30.
Yeah.
It's a lot for a Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to have to work a pretty good chunk tomorrow. The biggest thing for me is I have like ongoing clients, but I'm doing this like one-off audit and analysis, and I've done them before like within a business, but I've never done it, meaning I don't have like a template set up. So I'm trying to like not only actually do the audit and analysis, but like create like a report, like something I can give to someone that talks about everything. So it's just taking a while. Excuse me. And it's not technically due till Tuesday, so I could work on it on Monday, but the way that my weeks have been going, I just don't know if I'm going to get any time on Monday. And then I had like one client, normally I wouldn't check in on stuff, but she was having issues getting into her Instagram. So I was like doing stuff for that today. And then there's just like a couple other things that I didn't get to this week. I didn't work a full day on Tuesday, so that's a big part of it. I only worked like 2 hours on Tuesday because I went and got registration and my nails done. So I was gone, I think until like 1 or 1:30 or 2 even, after we went for a walk. So it's, yeah, I'm just like getting used to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel bad complaining about it. You know, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, at least you have your own business. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm doing it well. Like, I'm just like,
I think that's like part of it, though, is you just have to like stumble through it. Like having your own business is messy, and that's part of it, especially for somebody who's like a recovering perfectionist. Being able to like have to struggle through something, like it's having like being in business for yourself is the world's greatest personal development course. Because it just brings up all of your shit, any issues you have. Like it just brings that shit up, and you have to face it because there's nobody else to like push it off onto or anything like that.
There's also, for me, a huge twist in all of this is like having chronic illness. So I stubbornly created boundaries with corporate jobs because they would always, if you don't create a boundary with your corporate job, they will go over it over and over and over and over and over again. And I have gotten burned so many times in the 10 years that I've worked in corporate jobs that I created these like steadfast, nobody can break boundaries. I will not work weekends. I will not work weeknights. I will not work during my lunch. I will, like, very steadfast. So, right. And some of those were necessary, right? Like, I am the type of person who stress activates flares for my Hashimoto's. It activates migraines, which is another chronic issue that I deal with. I'm having some trouble with sleep, which I've literally talked about in every single Vlogmas, is my sleep is off, and just like everything, right? So there's reasons that I created those boundaries for good reason. But right now, I'm literally fighting myself with my own boundaries because I'm like, I have to work more and I enjoy the work that I'm doing. But at the same time, I have to figure it out because there does still need to be a boundary there. I am not the type of person, nor will I ever be, who will work 7 days a week, 365. Like, it's just not me. But understanding that A, this is just what's happening right now, and I don't need to like attack myself about it. But B, creating new boundaries that still are important to be upheld, but are maybe looked at in a different way so that, you know, I don't want to work weekends or weeknights, but at the same time, if I want to take off like a random Tuesday to go get my nails done, then, you know, then I want to be able to do that. That's the whole like freedom piece, but then you have to like rebalance. I've talked about this before, like I love doing social media and like marketing and all that stuff, but long term, I see myself just focusing on my own brand. And it's hard in that in between because I want that type of schedule now. Like, you know, where, not that you don't, you still have stuff to do that way. I don't know. It's just like, I don't have other people depending on me, if that makes sense. My nose itches.
When you were talking about that before, about like being frustrated about working late and on weekends and stuff like that, like, I mean, truly that's what it is like, it's all trade-offs. Like, working for yourself isn't necessarily better.
Yeah.
Like, is it better for you? Maybe. Is it more aligned with you and what you want? Maybe. But it's not necessarily better because there's a lot of,
to depend on.
And the first couple weeks in business, the first month in business, you're gonna have sometimes weeks like this where you just have to do shit. Like, you don't have an option because it has to get done. You accepted the client work and you're creating new systems, new templates, like all that stuff. But a big part of that process is if you have set rules or boundaries with yourself. I've struggled with this numerous times myself, of like, I said I wasn't going to work past this time, but I may even be enjoying the work that I'm doing that day. But as soon as I like start to like go through that boundary, it's like, wait a second, like I told myself I wasn't going to work this late. And I could I could be like so engaged with like the client write-up that I'm doing or whatever, but there's this inner battle of like, but I told myself I wasn't going to do that. And so it's really interesting from a mindset perspective.
There is still also the other side of it, like where I do think entrepreneurs
can get in trouble
and can like, you know, get themselves like totally burn out and do that kind of stuff, which is like, I don't need another effing burnout in my life.
Yeah.
Created by myself or corporate. Like I don't need that in my life. And it unfortunately is also a flare for my health. So I get really nervous because when I feel this stressed or I feel like I'm working so much, I get nervous that my health is gonna flare.
Yeah. And that's, you know, we've both experienced burnout in some shape or form. I have a client that I was talking to recently who has experienced burnout, and you do, I mean, truly, it's like a little T trauma in a sense of like, this is something you remember and it was terrible and horrible and you don't want to go back to that place. So as soon as you start to feel yourself getting these like workaholic tendencies or working nights, like in the back of your mind, you're like, oh fuck, I remember what happened the last time I did that.
Yeah, I can like literally
and you don't want to go back there. So it's like your brain is literally like, dude, stop. Like you cannot be working right now. And yeah, because I did that in my own business early on. Is like I just had I was working on Friday nights because I thought it was like making me better than everybody else because I was working while everybody else was like out at the bars. And I like prided myself on that. And I still pride myself on doing good hard work, but it's like I have boundaries around my time now instead of just like my work is the only thing that I care about.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm feeling exhausted, but I
could see it in your eyeballs.
Yeah. But I'm just like mentally, I cannot do any more work tonight. Any work that I would like not be very good work.
Yeah.
So I'm just
at some point you just have to
tomorrow
pull the plug. My mom always used to like if I would like in high school be working on homework at like 10 or 11, and you know you have to get up at like 5:30 or 6 or whatever the hell ungodly hour. And she'd be like, just go to bed, get up in the morning, at least get some rest. You can like start it with a like clean slate and you'll probably knock it out in like half the time, if that. And usually true. Because just like you hit a point where like, I'm not going any farther. Like,
here's another thing though that brings up for me. I agree with that, but there's also like this worry. I feel like I have to walk on eggshells with my health. So I'm like, what if I put it off though? And what if tomorrow I feel bad? And then what?
Yep.
You know, like, so that's where like procrastination has gotten me in trouble in the past, is like I've procrastinated. And then I get really stressed about it. And then I get a migraine and then I can't do it anyway. You know, so I didn't procrastinate this, but it's just like literally I've been so packed this week that I couldn't like do anything else. So
it's funny you say that though, because like I was just talking to Jamie on our call with the guys this afternoon, and he struggled with some chronic health stuff too. And we were just talking about how like the variable that it throws into, because he's a coach and so he works for himself, and it's just the variable that it throws into any type of work, like being in a corporate environment is equally as difficult, if not more. But like when you do work for yourself, it's like you have to go all in on the days that you feel good. And I've told Jessie this recently. It's like there have been some days where I just feel so good and so energized, and it's like unhealthy in a sense because I'm like, well, I can't do anything else today because I feel great and I feel like everything's working and firing. So like I need to do it and I can't do anything else because I have to make the most of this. So there's like this extreme scarcity effect that's like in play, and then two, and then sometimes just like a planning thing. Like you can't leave everything for the last minute, because if you do wake up and you have crazy brain fog that day, or you have a migraine, like then you're in real trouble and you can't get it done. And so it's just like definitely a variable that makes things tricky.
That like little T trauma like you're talking about, it's just like right now I'm like, well, I feel fine, I'm tired, like you should push through, but I can't. So I don't know, it's interesting, like trying to figure this all out. Like, and like you said, I think I'm also in this space where like I'm not only learning how to, I didn't get any time to myself, which was not the initial plan.
Yeah.
So we are taking some time off for the holidays, which will be helpful. But I went straight from corporate to like interviewing new clients to like onboarding new clients. So I'm not only like learning about
having like your time filled with clients.
Yeah, but then like I don't know how to schedule my time on my own yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how long things take. I don't know. I feel like my body's still recovering. I'm like sleeping so much. But I feel like it's like 10 years of making up for like stress and hating my Sundays, you know? And like, so there's all that. There's like, I'm onboarding and learning about seven businesses. Plus I don't even know what my own business is. And then I'm like trying to, you know, deal with household admin, which our house is just, I mean, it's like not that bad, but to me, it's like not great. And I know that I want to like work out.
When your mind's a mess, everything else around you feels like more of a mess than it actually is.
Well, and for me to like, that's when my mind feels a mess. I want everything to be very particular so that it doesn't add to that. But yeah. But so I'm like not only learning about these other businesses, I'm learning about my own businesses. I'm learning how long things take. I'm like, I don't know. It's just like there's so many things at once. I don't, you know, every client that I bring on, I'm like, oh, I have to like,
you need a nap.
I have to do this and I have to do that. And like, oh my God, I have to do this. And like, oh,
it's just a lot. And when in business for yourself, but especially early on, like you constantly have to practice compassion, self-compassion. Like you have to be able to give yourself space to be messy, to feel incompetent, to not do things optimally. Like it's a total mind game.
Yeah.
But I'm curious for you guys if any of this resonated with you, either with your corporate jobs or if you've thought about employing yourself at some point, or if that's like a long-term goal or something like that.
Or if you are self-employed.
Right. Or if you deal with chronic health stuff, I'd be curious to know like what questions you have for us based on what we said, or just like sharing your experiences with us. Because that's, you know, with this type of thing, whether it's chronic illness or trying to manage your mindset, or trying to figure out how to be self-employed and not go insane, having people around you, having a community of people who understand these things and are living these things helps so much. So please just like let us know if that's you and that's who you are and what you do. Just like say hey, or let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, and leave us any questions and stuff in the next couple of Vlogmases, and we'll do a little Q&A / mukbang thing toward the end of Vlogmas. But anyway, speaking of rest, I'm gonna go hang out for a little while.
I'm gonna go chill.
And Benjamin's gonna go do some football
stuff. Yep.
But I also feel like my neck.
See if I can win us all the money tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be great. Then I don't have to work. That's a lie. I would still work. But... Bye.